me feeling like I'm academics.
That's happened. Ooh, yo, by the way, we're gonna watch a little bit of there's a guy who was in the car with Fulio. We're gonna watch that as well a little bit later. Anyway, let's go to this really quickly. Two things, but look at this. So Kanye West put up on his story, his manager, John Monopoly, who said, yo, the co-head of Atlantic, Julie, just called me. Remember I told you Atlantic is starting to get busy. Chat, I'm telling you, you got to keep tapping in him. And this is the only insider stream I've seen where, like, you know, obviously Joe Budden be knowing this shit, but Joe don't really want to give y'all the tea. Joe knows everything too. Like anything I say, Joe knows. You know what I mean? But Joe kind of does it in a very, I think it's more of protecting his relationship shit. Me, I'm going to just say the shit. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, she just got fired, right? By the way, the timing on her getting fired, her pockets got lined already, bro. Remember I told you, Atlantic stopped signing them artists because the executives' pockets are going to get lined. Her pockets got lined. The new head of Atlantic, you should know who that is. I told y'all who it was. Elliot Grange, the son of Lucian Grange, okay? She said the new head, which is Elliot Grange, is not going to give us a grace period to handle Atlantic's compensations. Now, what is she talking about? Let me show y'all real quick. Look at this. So if you go to Vultures, and this is typical Kanye actions, right? You go to Vultures 2, Kanye West put out an album without getting any clearances from the artist that's on the album. You know what I mean? Gives no fucks. You get what I'm saying? Let's actually go to the track listing. By the way, who's Ty Dolla $ign signed to? Ty Dolla $ign. Ty Dolla $ign is signed to which label? Is he on Atlantic now? I can't tell. Atlantic. It said he was in Atlantic in 2012. I don't know if he's still there. If he's still on Atlantic, right? If he's still on Atlantic, and I'm not even looking at, you know, let me look at the features. Vultures 2. Yeah, it's probably that. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Vultures 2, I know they have a bunch of features, but it's probably Ty Dolla $ign. Bro, Ye releases as an independent artist. When you release a album, it's a joint album. Let me tell you how this kind of works. It could be worked as a very interesting and different, because depending on how you sign to the label. So if I'm Ty Dolla $ign and I sign to Atlantic as Ty Dolla $ign, sometimes I won't sign away my group rights, right? So if me and another artist make a group and we release a project, that's not within my actual recording deal. So I could get another deal for that. Like, for example, and Offset took QC to court for this because he was saying, I'm signed to QC as the Migos, but I'm not signed as Offset, the individual artist. That's two different deals. My solo projects are different than my group projects. And because when I drop music with them, it's called the Migos, and I drop music with myself, it's called Offset. It's two different things. Anyway, so usually they do different deals. I guess I say that to say Ty Dolla $ign, I would assume, would have a deal with his label that they're allowing him, whether they're going to count it as one of his albums or maybe they're going to count it as something else because it's a collab with Kanye, but they're supposed to have a agreement with Kanye of how, and by the way, the wording on this, and let me say it. So she said that they're not going to give a grace period to handle Atlantic's compensation. She suggested I let Two Lost and Create. Those are distribution groups. So Create Music Group distributes and Two Lost. Let them know that 40% of all revenue for V1 and V2 needs to be paid to Atlantic. Okay? So essentially they're saying, yo, Ty Dolla $ign is a contracted artist to us. We're just going to say, okay, Kanye, you're the A side. So we're going to say it's a 60-40. So we're not saying 50-50 split, but 40% of the revenue needs to be paid to Atlantic because Ty is signed to Atlantic. I think that's what that kind of means. She's saying if we don't do it or handle it immediately, Atlantic will issue takedowns for both albums. Now, again, if you look at how Vulture 2 is put out, it's not they put it out as a group. It's this weird symbol right here, this thing right here, right? A $sign and a Y, right? Now, it says it's a super group. Now, here's the thing. In Ty Dolla $ign's contract, it could very well say, we have all your rights for not only your solo career, but even if during this album term or this contract term, you participate in a group, right? That has to be what it is. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times they're probably working it out like, all right, cool. You know, you go do that. They're not trying to piss the artist off, because a pissed off artist doesn't turn to music. No money gets made. So maybe the last, group of people or the last executives, they're probably saying, all right, since if we don't have to issue no budget, which I would imagine Atlantic issued no budget for the creation of this project, no advances, no nothing. They're going to be like, we're not going to be on it too heavy on what we need to get paid, but y'all know we do need to get paid, but we're not going to be pushy. Here's the thing. Julie's out, which is, the former executive over there. The new executive is like, all right, anybody who owe us money, we collected, motherfucker. So they're basically saying we need our money. And yeah, I keep telling people, I used to say Atlantic was kind of in a dead space. I think Atlantic's about to be back. They're about to be back on their shit. This is part of it. Now, Ye's trying to do some type of, I think Ye's trying to do what he does in a lot of situations, right? I think he even says this is how they handle independent artists or something like that. He had a caption that said it. The truth is, Kanye, you can't just drop music. Like, you're a huge artist, but you can't just drop music with no agreements. That's the problem. The same thing we just heard from your former chief of staff, Milo Yiannopoulos, that basically said that you guys were hemorrhaging money because your lack of business affairs were not in order. Like, your business affairs just was not in order. Essentially, Kanye needs to do business. It's just what it is. Yo, they're letting their artists work with you. You got to pay people, bro. That's just what it is. And I don't think that Kanye doesn't want to pay people. I think he's just always negligent. He does it after the fact. And this is why they got to end up threatening him, right? Like, yo, we're going to take it off streaming services if you don't. And I guarantee the check will get cut, right? Because Kanye went #1 last time when he sold some amazing numbers for an independent album, and he went #1. This time around, he's probably going to do good numbers again. But if you're doing a project with somebody, but you're not paying them, yo, they deserve to get paid. Now, granted, it's going to the label, and the label's going to cut Ty Dolla $ign's money. But here's the thing. And here's the only thing I could think. Maybe Kanye just already paid Ty Dolla $ign. So that might be a legal thing. He might tell Atlantic, yo, we paid it directly to Ty Dolla $ign, which, according to how these contracts are written, the artist cannot collect money for their own work. It has to be collected by the label, that the label could take their cut. Then they could pay the artist. So again, we'll see how this gets played out. But I'm not going to say Kanye, Kanye's giving us music, but we could tell he's just not a great businessman. So he definitely probably owes him some money. And I'm not going to say Atlantic is taking advantage of an independent artist. No, my nigga, you're using our artists and we have him in contract. You got to pay us. You got to pay us. I'm sorry. Like, Kanye likes to have these special rules that's only for him. No, my nigga, pay up. Okay. And, yeah, I can't knock them for basically, once they get to the point of threatening, y'all have already had an album out. When did V1 come out? Vultures 1 came out a long time ago. So if y'all didn't pay then and now y'all got a new album out, let me see what that's expected to sell first week. I think Vultures 2, let me see. Oh, yeah, Kanye, it's expected to sell 70,000. So Vultures 2 is expected to sell 70,000, and it's a indie drop. Shit, good for Kanye. You know what I mean? Still a lot of money. All right. Speaking of which, and hey,